Hi, I'm Beverly Holden, and I've been sharing my experiences about leaving the church and embracing spirituality. Well, today I'd like to talk about letting go. I've been thinking a lot lately. Well, maybe not a lot, but it just, how different memories come up. And I had I don't think my daughter will mind my sharing this, but um, several years ago when I found out that my daughter was struggling with addictions. Um, I had a very difficult time with that, and it was a challenging time for me. And I was just thinking how much more peace of mind I have now, and how things have changed. And but I wanted to share this process that I went through. It's because it's on my heart to do so. So. Um, um, Back then, Gina was following the Grateful Dead, and I never knew where she was or what she was doing. I didn't know if I'd ever see her again. And one night, in the middle of the night, I got a phone call from Gina, and she said, "Mom, I'm scared. I just saw a friend of mine OD, and I'm scared." And before I could even say anything, the phone clicked, and she hung up. And I'm laying there in bed, thinking, what can I do to help? And um, um, yeah, so so I had been going to Al-Anon meetings, and every meeting I would just cry throughout it. I'd, I'd walk in the door and just start crying. I'd cry throughout the whole meeting, cry at the end of it, go home, come back the next week, cry through the meeting. So this was my norm. So I was struggling at that time. Uh, and so that night that I received that phone call, I decided to ask God for help. And so I pictured myself crawling into God's lap and saying, "Take care of Gina. I need some sleep." Um, and what I was studying in the Al-Anon book was letting go and letting God. Let go and let God, I think's how it goes. And so when I went back to the Al-Anon meeting, I was happy, feeling good, and people were saying, "What happened to you?" Uh, I wasn't crying and all, and I said, "I let go and let God." They all understood. But it was a very powerful moment for me, and it just, they say the definition of a miracle is when you shift from fear to love. And that's what I did. I shifted from fear to love and performed a miracle. And I let go and let God. I was reading recently in A Course in Miracles about arrogance. And this may not seem like it's tied to this particular topic, but I wanted to mention it because arrogance is not what I thought it was. Arrogance is, when we believe that we have not been, that we are not as God created us, that as we see ourselves as little, that's arrogance. To say that we know more than God does, to say, "Oh, no, that can't be true. God doesn't know what he's talking about when he says I'm perfect, I'm innocent, I'm powerful, I'm love. No, no, that can't be me." That's arrogance. And so when I finally started accepting who I truly am, and when I started letting go and letting God, I had so much more peace. I have so much more peace. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll join me next time.